Did the LAPD destroy evidence for Diddy?
Things have just hit a crazy factor. Diddy has just been implicated as having somebody potentially on the LAPD on payroll. We are talking about missing evidence. This ties into Little Rod's lawsuit. This ties into so much. Baby, when I say that Diddy's team and Mark Agnifilio are still arguing with the judge right now about whether the jury can hear this and whether this can be admitted, you guys, this is groundbreaking, okay? But let's get into this, right? Because this is what people are talking about, that Diddy has a mole inside. And this is what we need to actually pay attention to, okay? With the LAPD. Listen. He said that they were like, okay, what do you do? He's like, I look at the fire. I'm an investigator. He is like, the guy is super stored up. They said the LAPD actually tested for fingerprints. Now, they said that there were 2 sets of fingerprints on the house door that the LAPD tested for, and they were collected and put on a fingerprint card. He also said that there were fingerprints taken off the car door of the Porsche that did not match Kid Cudi's, right? And they were taken off the car door. So they were like, the prosecution was like, well, did you analyze it? And get this. They said, did you cross-analyze it? And he said, I couldn't. They said, why? He's like, well, this happened in December of 2011, right? Keep that in mind. This happened in December 2011. He went in and said in early 2012, Rashida Williams, thank you so much for the super chat. He said in early 2012, guess what happened? The evidence, he went to go cross-reference the fingerprints he found on the Porsche that weren't Kid Cudi's. He went to go to the evidence card for the fingerprints that were found on Kid Cudi's door after he reported that break-in, right? He went, guess what? The evidence was destroyed. The evidence, the fingerprint cards were destroyed. The fingerprint cards were destroyed. The prosecution said, is that normal? He said, absolutely not. This is the fire investigator. He said, absolutely not. She said, well, what normally happens? She said, if they find prints on the scene and I'm conducting my arson investigation, they give me the prints to cross-reference everything I find. At the very least, if they decide to destroy evidence, he said it's very, very he said it's very, very, very uncommon for them to destroy evidence, especially fingerprints, in the middle of an ongoing investigation. He also said that even if they do decide to do that for whatever reason, they always talk to him because he needs the evidence to cross-profile. They said it was destroyed too quickly. It was destroyed not out of protocol, and he automatically said he was not consulted, and he 100% usually is. He said it was highly unusual.
What up, word? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join the membership. Listen, gang, I know I did a video on Tessa Tales spiraling out a few months ago during the Jay-Z conversation, but Tessa Tales still is on the case with this Diddy thing, and I do think she came up with some very informational talking points the other day, because she's in the courtroom, and this is something to think about. This is something to discuss. The evidence in the Diddy case, apparently back in 2011, came up missing. Something about the fingerprints that were taken from Kid Cudi's door during the Molotov cocktail investigation. Apparently, Diddy decided he was going to scare Kid Cudi, and we found out he even wanted to do even more. He wanted to low-key kill the man for just being involved with Cassie in the slightest. Apparently, Cassie was messing with Kid Cudi during an on again, off again period with her and Diddy. And Diddy somehow found out, got upset, decided that he was going to strike out and teach Kid Cudi a lesson, right? He went to Kid Cudi's house. Kid Cudi allegedly wasn't there. Someone ripped a hole into Kid Cudi's Porsche roof. I believe there was a soft top. They cut a hole in it, took a bottle of OE, an empty bottle of Old English, put some gas in it or an accelerant, right? And stuffed a designer handkerchief in the bottle, allegedly. And then lit the handkerchief, dropped the bottle in the top of Kid Cudi's car. The handkerchief fell out, thankfully, because according to Tessa Tales and the fire expert, had that handkerchief stayed in the bottle, it would have exploded in such a way that it would have caused the house to catch fire as well, which was only 10 feet away from the car. That house probably would have triggered a full-on wildfire and Diddy would have been the cause of a wildfire. No telling how many other homes would have burned down because of Diddy's ignorance and arrogance, right? And I believe all of that, but I also believe that the handkerchief fell out. First of all, that's divine intervention. Let's just be honest, and it's also incompetence. Like, stuff it down. Like, do it. You're gonna do it right, right? But end of the day, there were some female fingerprints allegedly found on the Old English bottle. Now, some of these people may say, okay, that could have been the store clerk. That could have been someone who touched the bottle and handed it to. It could have been any reason. But at the end of the day, those fingerprints should not be missing. And within a year's time, for those fingerprints to come up missing in the L.A.P.D's, they're in their custody, they're in their evidence room. It's only going to be one kind of person who can get in that evidence room to take the fingerprints out. Someone who works there, which means a cop. So if those fingerprints come up missing, I highly suspect that someone did it for Diddy and got a handsome check. Diddy's throwing around money. I would think it's strange that Diddy didn't have someone on L.A.P.D. Let's be honest, the L.A.P.D. was proven to be one of the most corrupt organizations in history. Let's just be honest. And for him not to have somebody in LA, as much as he's in LA, and as much as we know that LAPD is suspected in let's just be honest, in the murders of Tupac and Biggie, right? When you peel back the layers, there's a LA cop in the middle of those that have alleged ties to those cases. Let's just be honest, okay? So I would be highly surprised if Diddy didn't find another one and a couple more, so that when he comes to town, he's safe. Right? Instead of depending on the gangs to keep you safe, what's safer than making sure to have the cops keeping you safe, right? And having the cops doing your dirty work. If you're doing this much, you're beating these women within an inch of their life. You're doing these freaky sex parties with 17 bottles of baby oil, and you got men on men and girls on girls. You're doing all this crazy stuff. You're doing the after party after the after party. Somebody got to keep you safe. Right? All these naked people running around. You need somebody to make everybody feel like it's going to be okay. Enjoy yourself. Take off your toga. Take off your robe. Let's get down. Grab a bottle. We in here. You know what I mean? Somebody got to feel safe. So I 100% believe a man that powerful with that kind of money is easily going to find a stooge. Now, who's the stooge? Who's going to walk in the evidence locker and you see these in the movies all the time. Some guy, he goes in the evidence locker. I'm only going to be a minute. Sammy, let me just, I got to grab something, da-da-da. And Sammy looks the other way because of whatever, they boys or whatever. And boom, now you got two accomplices. He done grabbed the fingerprints, da-da-da. This fire chief said it's highly irregular to remove those fingerprints. He said that they don't do that without consulting him and everybody else. It's got to be paperwork. They don't just destroy the fingerprints. He went back. He said in 2011, they put the fingerprints in the locker, right? Goes back 2012, not even a year later. Boom, fingerprints gone. Everything's missing. Now we don't know who the female was. I have an opinion, and I know this may be kind of, I got the right to my opinion, gang. I just feel like it could be, right? It could be that Diddy forced his assistant, Capricorn Clark, to drop that in there. Diddy's a menace, gang. And you got to think how a menace, somebody who is very diabolical, Diddy might be like, they might got cameras, anything going on, like, I'm not getting out this car to do that. I'm going to send you, go do it, and you better hurry up. He probably gave it. She's shaking, scary, da-da-da. That's why the handkerchief probably fell out. She's scared, da-da-da. She can't say that she got a settlement saying that Diddy was an awful guy. She can't say, well, I did the Molotov cocktail, and that'll never happen. And I'm not saying she did it. I'm just saying Diddy could have forced her. Those could have been the fingerprints. Now imagine, them fingerprints, you're Diddy, and you get wind that, bro, they got fingerprints off the bottle. If the fingerprints come back to Capricorn Clark, she's going to roll on you. Right? Let's just be honest. She's going to roll on you. She's not going to protect you. So instead of you having to worry about Capricorn Clark, just get the fingerprints out of evidence. Right? I was watching this great show. It's a great show called Mobland, right? British show. It's fantastic, right? And Pierce Brosnan, like what's her not Dame Judy, Helen Meyer. I think it's Helen Mir. It's the guy that played Bane, Tom Hardy. It's a great show. And in the show, one of the kids, spoiler alert, one of the son, listen, the son does something heinous. So when he goes and they go and investigate it, they take his fingerprints off of something in the where he did the heinous crime at, right? So the fingerprints end up in the in the police evidence locker. First thing Tom Hardy does, he calls a friend of a friend, and he makes a move, and they go and get the evidence out of the police locker. So that's what you're gonna do. The first thing you're gonna do, there's no case without the evidence. So Diddy's like, yo, listen, Playboy, I'm calling in that favor, right? Remember that night at club such and such in 1994 when you did what with who? You know what I'm talking about. So now I need a favor. I need you to go in the evidence locker. Yes, you can't be nobody else. And I need you to grab them fingerprints and any other correspondence evidence. I need you to bring that to me ASAP. And then we square. Got it? Boom. That's it. So I 100% believe, I'm not gonna say I believe Tisa Tales or anybody. I just believe that Diddy is heinous enough and he's smart enough as a career habitual liar and a manipulator that he's gonna get somebody going in. I think money talks. You know what I'm saying? Either somebody owed him a favor or somebody on a payroll that he always. There's no way for him to even know that they had that unless somebody told him. So somebody had to tell him in the freaking one of his let's say stooges or lackeys or whatever you want to call them. Because if I'm a crooked cop and I'm working for Diddy, I'm a stooge, gang. I'm a lackey, gang. I ain't got no self-respect. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, I'm a lackey, gang. Damn. You know what I'm saying? So you a lackey. Let's just be honest. So one of his lackeys and stooges went in there, grabbed the fingerprints of the miscellaneous female. Now we don't know who the female is, right? Kid Cudi dogging and locked the dog in the bathroom, and this female. I think if it was a female, it's either, let's say if this is the person who perpetrated the crime, is either Cassie or Capricorn Clark. I'm just gonna be honest, and I'm not saying it's either one of them. But if we're gonna follow the evidence, if a female touched the bottle and the bottle's dropped in the thing, how many females gonna do that he knows, that he trusts to do that? It ain't that many. So it's a long case, but we'll never know now at this point unless one of them cracks. Right, unless Cassie cracks or Capricorn Clark, but they're not going to let neither one of them crack because they off the stand forever. They'll never come back on the stand because they already objection, Your Honor. So Diddy's team not letting that happen. But let me know what you think. I feel like what is going on is this is a real messy case. They're not proving everything. They proving some stuff, but not the stuff that they charging them with. So we got a long way to go, gang. It's looking really scary because your boy trying to get a mistrial every other morning. He wake up mistrial, like he file new paperwork every 3 days mistrial. Like the judge is like, no, Diddy, we're not. Listen, sit down. Tell your people sit down. 2 days later, mistrial. So this dude trying to get a mistrial every 2 days. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they may wipe the slate clean. I don't know, man. But let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Check them out. Let them know Challz sent you. Tell them what you need. They ship everywhere in the continental U.S. All right. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on The What Show. We went live last night, had a great time. Make sure you tune in. If you can't catch it live, catch the replay. All right. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side and get the merchandise. I'm just going to be honest, merchandise. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.